Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. She's a great person and always nice to me. Coco Gauff praises Danielle Collins after Montreal epic. Coco Gauff spoke about her relationship with Danielle Collins after a hard-fought victory that was decided after almost 3 hours in a third-set tiebreak. The 21-year-old American was particularly imprecise on serve, tallying a total of 23 double faults, but she survived by being more effective in crucial moments. In fact, both players struggled with their serve. Collins herself hit 13 double faults in a match marked by inaccuracies and unforced errors from both sides. Both had only 55% first serves in and won less than 35% of points on their second serve. The match ended 7-5, 4-6, 7-6, 2 in Gauff's favor, with 9 breaks for each player. She is obviously a tough competitor and great tennis player. It was a highly anticipated second-round match. Collins, currently world number 61, is undoubtedly a formidable name on the tour, as a former top 10 player and Grand Slam finalist, having also won her first WTA 1000 title at the Miami Open just a year ago. Against a Gauff who has struggled with rhythm on hard courts so far, Collins was expected to be a tough challenge. Collins, 32, is a player with extensive experience and many years on tour. According to Gauff, she has always been kind to her, and Gauff had the opportunity to get to know her better when they teamed up for the United Cup earlier this season, where USA won the title, defeating Poland in the final. "This is my first time playing Danielle Collins. I know her very well," she said. "She is obviously a tough competitor and great tennis player, great person. I got to know her really well at the United Cup, and she is always nice to me," Gauff mentioned after the match. The American number 1 had to fight extra hard to secure the victory. In the third set, she held a break advantage for much of the time, but Collins managed to come back. Danielle got a break that put her up 6-5 and had the opportunity to serve for the match, but Gauff managed to break back and send everything to a tiebreak. The rest is history. The 2-time Grand Slam champion showed her class in the decisive moments and avoided a major upset at the start of the tournament, where she is the first seed. "It was a tough battle out there," the world number 2 added. "Making serves into the court was the toughest challenge. Maybe if I cut that in half, it would be a quicker match for me. I thought that I was playing well except for that part of my game, but I felt like off the ground, I was doing pretty well. Danielle is a great ball striker, and for me to break her as many times as I did, there were definitely some positives to take from today. I definitely have a lot left in the tank," she said. "It was a frustrating match for me. I just felt like I was practicing well, and then I didn't think that transferred today," Coco mentioned during the press conference. "Hopefully, I got my bad match of the tournament out of the way, and I can come back stronger in the next round." In the third round, she will face another former top 10 player, Russia's Veronika Kudermetova, who seems to be slowly rediscovering her good level of play after a couple of seasons filled with inconsistent results. The Russian defeated qualifier Kristina Buxa in the first round, while having no trouble against 29th seed Olga Danilovic in straight sets in the second round. The cool Montreal evening was settling in as the last echoes of the crowd faded into the dusky air. On the court, 2 warriors had just finished a battle that demanded not just physical endurance, but mental grit, tactical precision, and emotional steel. Coco Gauff stood at the net, her chest heaving, sweat clinging to her brow like a badge of honor. Across from her, Danielle Collins offered a warm smile and extended her hand. It was a moment of mutual respect, pure, simple, and quietly profound. In the post-match interview, Gauff didn't hold back. "She's a great person and always nice to me," she said of Collins, a comment that would ripple through the tennis world as much for its sincerity as for the unexpected affection between 2 fierce competitors. This wasn't just a routine statement. This was a story years in the making, a clash of fire and grace. It had been billed as one of the marquee matchups of the Canadian Open. Gauff, still only 21 but already a Grand Slam champion and a household name, came into the tournament with the pressure of being the top seed. Collins, older and more seasoned, had the fire of a final season swan song in her. The Floridian had already announced that 2025 would be her last year on tour, and she wasn't just here to make up the numbers. She was here to win. From the first serve, it was clear this was going to be more than just a tennis match. It was a duel between the generation that grew up watching Serena and the generation that followed in her footsteps. Collins roared through the first set, taking it 6-3 with powerful ground strokes and her trademark intensity. Gauff, who had been struggling with her serve throughout the tournament, threw in 5 double faults in that set alone. But Coco, ever the fighter, adjusted. She came back with resilience, clawing her way to a 7-5 second set with a mix of aggressive baseline play and strategic net approaches. The third set was a whirlwind, momentum shifting like a pendulum, with long rallies, breakpoint saves, and nerve-wracking challenges. It was Gauff who eventually emerged victorious, 3-6, 7-5, 6-4. And yet, in the aftermath of such a fierce contest, there was no animosity, no resentment, just praise. The unlikely bond. Tennis, for all its glamour and global appeal, is often a lonely sport. Weeks on the road, pressure from fans and media, and the brutal reality of one-on-one combat create an atmosphere where rivalries thrive, but friendships are rare. Gauff, however, has always been different. From her early days on tour, she has shown a maturity and emotional intelligence beyond her years. Her kindness is not performative. It's intentional, consistent, and rooted in genuine curiosity about others. She's always treated me with kindness, Coco shared later in her press conference. Even when I was just a teenager coming up, she took time to talk to me, to give advice. Not everyone does that. Danielle always did. Indeed, Collins has always had a complex reputation on tour. Fiery on court, intense in competition. But off the court, she's often described by her peers as thoughtful, articulate, and above all generous. She's someone I've looked up to, Coco continued. Not just because of her tennis, but her resilience. She's been through injuries, health struggles, yet she comes back stronger every time. That's the kind of role model I think young players need. 2 paths, 1 respect. It's easy to forget how different their journeys have been. Coco Gauff was a teenage prodigy, exploding onto the scene at Wimbledon in 2019. The world watched her grow up in real time. Every serve, every interview, every fashion choice, analyzed and broadcast. Danielle Collins, on the other hand, took the collegiate route. She honed her skills at the University of Virginia, becoming a 2-time NCAA singles champion before joining the Pro Tour. She wasn't a prodigy. She was a grinder. Her rise was slower, but just as impactful. What united them on that Montreal night wasn't background, age, or accolades. It was a shared love for the game, a refusal to give up, and a mutual recognition of each other's journey. You can play someone 10 times and still not really know them, Gauff reflected. But sometimes, in the toughest matches, you get a glimpse into someone's soul. Tonight, I saw why Danielle's been so successful. She's tough, but she's got heart. Legacy in the making. With Danielle Collins set to retire soon, matches like this one are becoming part of her farewell tour. A tour not built on sentimentality, but on reminders of why she's been a force in the sport. And for Gauff, these moments matter. Not just the wins, but the connections. When I'm older, Coco mused, I hope someone says about me what I can say about Danielle. That I played hard, but I was kind. That I competed, but I cared. The tennis world took note of that sentiment. Social media buzzed with praise, not just for the match, but for the sportsmanship. Billie Jean King tweeted, That's the kind of mutual respect that grows the game. Coco and Danielle showed us tonight what women's sports is all about. Even the official WTA account posted a photo of the 2 players embracing at the net with the caption, A battle, a bond, a moment. Backstage moments. What fans didn't see was what happened behind the curtain. As Coco was cooling down, Collins walked by, still drenched in sweat, but glowing with pride. Great fight out there, she said, pausing at Coco's open locker. You too, Coco replied with a grin. You had me on the ropes. Collins laughed. That's the point. Gotta make you earn it. They exchanged a fist bump. No cameras. No crowds. Just 2 athletes sharing a private moment of camaraderie. One of Gauff's team members, later interviewed off the record, noted, "There's real love there. Not in a showy way, but in that respectful, big sister kind of way. Coco's always appreciated players who keep it real, and Danielle always has." Passing the torch. As the tournament presses on and Coco Gauff continues her run in Montreal, fans are beginning to sense a larger narrative unfolding. With players like Collins preparing to exit, the new generation is stepping into a space not just of talent, but leadership. And Coco, despite her youth, seems ready. "I've had a lot of great mentors," she said. "Venus, Serena, even players like Simona and Petra. They've all taught me something. Danielle, she taught me that toughness and kindness aren't opposites. You can be fierce and still be a good person. I'll always respect her for that." Looking ahead, whether Gauff goes on to win the Canadian Open or not, this moment against Collins will linger in memory. Because in sports, sometimes it's not the titles or records that endure, it's the human stories. The ones where grace meets grit, where fierce rivals become unexpected friends, where a rising star pauses to thank a departing one. "She's a great person," Gauff said again, as if needing to say it twice so people really heard. And we did. Because in a world that often celebrates only the victors, Coco Gauff reminded us that character counts just as much. And Danielle Collins? She reminded us that legacy is not just about how many matches you win, but how many hearts you touch.